Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. This is nice. The capture card was working before. Plus we got the sparklies. That's always fun. Let me go ahead and reset you. Oh, and that's really fun. Okay. So we got that and OBS. You can where are you? There we go. Okay, we got that working. Uh Stream Manager is getting set up. Not that browser. That browser. Okay. Okay, and I think that will be happy over there. Let's see. Let's put the test. The idea that if I just leave and come back, the entire thing will work. So I'll see if I can go grab Zilby. I was watching it and it did indeed go back over instantaneously. Sylvie, you want to hang out here or do you want to go by the window? By the window, maybe. Okay, so if he, where are you gonna hang out? All right, well, not where I can get a camera on him right now, but if he moves, we'll go ahead and turn that on. So let's see. So this is EyeAP, which is our a centralized authentication server, essentially. This is a learning project, so it's not necessarily meant to be a full like production replacement. Although depending upon how it goes, I could potentially try to use it as one. But most likely I would rewrite it with all the knowledge that we gained during it. So to begin with, we're still working on this first story here, which is as an admin, I want to register a new application. Now we'll have a front end for this. I was thinking of using yew.rs, so a web application. But if I remember correctly, we're still getting Kickstart set up for this. Also, we have a series of questions that we're gathering together for what to ask the FusionAuth people when I next chat with them. So that'll be good as well. So now I do have the ability to start up FusionAuth, and if I remember correctly, it is launching, but we still have a kickstart, like the kickstart thing. This. So now this is a local API key, so it's just mine. So I don't have to worry about exposing this because it's just the test one. This wouldn't be one that's be used in production. And I can actually set this up to use something from like a .env. Same as what we're doing down here. Basically, this environment variable account passwords. That's all good. Let's see. So we have our API keys. This is like the API key to control everything. And then we do a single post in here. That's going to be the API user. We skip verification. And we create this user account here. Actually, I'm thinking for testing purposes, I'll just make this be like Brooks at, because that's easier to type. It's Brooks builds, and it will use this account password that we have that is in my .env. Okay, so let's go and take a look at where we left off. So if I run cargo run, so I just don't need to make that full screen. Not cargo run. This is Docker. Docker compose up, and then I guess we'll wait for this to build. And I did drop everything the last time I took this down, so it's got to do all the things. Now I still do have to figure out like how I want to organize everything. So we have Stream Manager running up here to let me know when ads are running. We have our hello queue. I have our terminal window down here, which I can, if I full screen this, I don't really get this up and running anymore. So I'm not really sure, like I could put this actually over here, but again, it's the same problem as like the full screen thing. So I'm not really sure about that. I could potentially also do 2 tabs, or I could pop this out into a floating window. That actually might work better. Hold on, I think I can do that. Can't I? So it's not toggle floating. Yeah, toggle embed. Okay, so that brings it out. Okay, so everything is working now, which means that if we come over here and 8080 is Hasura, that's running. That's fine. And then I think it's 9011. Right, okay, so this opens us up. It's basically saying like, hey, our confirmation about how to connect to this local database that we have. It is Postgres. super user for the database. I'm not giving it that. And it wants just a username and password to connect to the database that we're handing it, which in this case is not that. It is that. And it drops us right in. Okay. Now we can log in now, and theoretically I'm an admin, so that is that it, or was it this one? Well, now I don't remember what the password is. Where's my other terminal? Let's see. So I have is it in FusionAuth? Oh, it is in the FusionAuth. Okay, so if I bat.env, okay, account password is this. Oh, right. This is the problem. Okay, my account does not have permissions to access the FusionAuth admin interface. So I need to give this user an admin capabilities. Okay, so do I have 151? Is that the version I'm using? It's a little bit hard to tell from here. I guess it would be nice if I could see it through the interface, but we could also take a look at it through the not Docker file, the compose file. Yeah, I'm using latest. So whatever their latest that they have in Docker is going to be fine. So hopefully that should be 151. Okay, and I just want their API. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so for users, now when I create a user, default tenant ID, default applicate. I don't think I need that. Now, list of memberships. Okay, I don't think that's what I want. I need permissions. No, okay, so that's not as part of user. So permission, grants maybe. Okay, something about users permissions. There's a user scope. Okay, entity grants. The entity grants tab allows you to manage the entity grants for a user. Entities and grants allow you to model fine-grained permissions in a flexible manner. Entities are things, while grants are expressions of permissions. Okay, so my user is an entity, and my grant is going to be what they're allowed to do. So I want to go back to grants maybe. Oh, I don't see entities. Grants. Grant a user or entity permission to a grant. That seems weird. I thought a user was an entity. Okay, and then a set of permissions, which is, okay, so I think what I want to do is then restart this, but without using the kickstart, so I can take a look at when I create a user, what grants it gets, so I can know what to give it. Because it's not easy to find in the kickstart, unless, of course, I can find it in here somehow. Come on. Oh, that doesn't seem great. So fun fact there, every time I hit K, it removes or brings back the search window. So I'm trying to search with a thing that has K in it, and it's constantly removing this. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Kickstart. Kickstart file is a collection of one or more API keys. Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. It would have been nice if they had here's how to do something with your user to create the first user. Like, for example, adding API requests, I would imagine the first, like an example they should give is, okay, API user registration. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so requests, body. So we have body, we have user, and then I need registration after that. Okay, I think that's what we want. So in the kickstart, we have skip verification, user, and then this is going to be registration, which is another object. Now, if I wanted to go find this, there it is, APIs. So user, now they're sending to registration. They're not doing a post to API user, right? They're doing a post to API user registration, which I'm not seeing here. I mean, these are all the different OAuth. It looks like I can't search through this. Okay, because if I send you, we have application ID, let's see, skip verifications, that was the root level. Then we have user data. I don't think it's the memberships thing. Oh, and then the example request. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this is not the right, okay, so I absolutely do want, this is not the right request to make. I want to go to API user registration. Okay, this example is using the registration API. User registrations is right above users. Okay. This page contains the APIs that are used to manage user registrations. A registration is the association between user and an application that they log into. Here are the APIs. Okay, so, Oh, create a user registration for an existing user. So I could do this to then add that user in. Okay. Create a user and a registration combined. Okay, and if I don't put in a user ID here, it'll generate one for me. So I want to use this. API user registration, like you. Okay, so FusionAuth tenant ID. This is a header, and it's optional because I only have one tenant ID set up, and I'm only using one tenant. Okay, so then we have the request body. So disable domain block, defaults to false. Okay, I'm fine with that. Generate an authentication token. I guess right now we're going to set this to false, but I might need this to be true later. So I'm going to set this to, this is in the body, right? I'm going to set it explicit right now so I could remember to come back in and change it later if I need to. Registration application ID, and this is required. Okay, so the ID of the application that this registration is for. And if I remember correctly, there is an environment that is given to us. This one, FusionAuth application ID. Yeah, it's just available to us. We don't have to have it in variables. Authentication token that may be used in place of the user's password when authenticating against this application. Okay, so, oh yeah, so I'm generating an authentication token instead of providing one, essentially. Okay, I don't need any data for that. Preferred languages, I think it's okay to just leave that as blank. They'll generate a random UID for me, okay. Registration roles. The list of roles the user has for this registration. Okay, and these are all registration application ID. Hold on, I did this wrong. So I can't do registration application ID like that. I have to do, there's always quotes. Registration, you're an object. There, application ID goes in there. Roles. The list of roles that the user has for this registration, the string is the role's name, not the role's ID. So for example, admin. And I think that was lowercase, right? Skip registration verification. We want to do that. Oh, and that's not part of registration. That's part of this. Skip verification. Whether or not email verification should be skipped or not. Go ahead and skip that too. Okay, then we have user and email. Okay, and this is where I can put in, I mean, I don't think that it can send any emails out because I haven't added in anything into it. I don't know what they're going to use by default. That was one of the questions that we have for Auth0. Or sorry, FusionAuth. Oh, that's not good. We can give it a first name and a last name and a password. And then the password, we're using emv.account password. And these are, that environment variable is being loaded into the component. No. We have image and why did I suddenly forget about like Docker container, the container at runtime? Okay, two-factor, we're not enabling that, at least right now. Okay, those are deprecated. Okay, so that should do it. So this should allow me to be an admin and allow me to log in. So if we rerun this, I wonder if I up after this, it will actually do what I want. I'm guessing it won't because it's already run it and I haven't removed the volumes. Okay, so I have to do with the volume. And I think the -v gives the volume. I don't need to get rid of the images. So just remove the volume and go ahead and come back up again. Okay, so Auth1 has run. Theoretically, it runs the, as soon as healthy happens, then I think it starts running the kickstart. The kickstart probably should be done by now too. Create the admin user. Okay, so this feels like it did not work. That being said, let's just give this a shot. Encountered an error. Okay, so probably because I had already run a kickstart thing on it. That's my guess. So this kind of worked. What am I missing from their documentation here? So we post to API user registration. Body, we have email, password. Now they put in this data, but I don't think that's necessary. So they have email. So user. In fact, we can just take this entire thing here, can't we? So user, wait, let's just do theirs. So user, email and password. So email and password. They have data with the company. Okay, so we can do that. Data is an object. Then At the same level as user, we have registration. We have application ID, which is the FusionAuth application ID. Okay, so we have application ID like that. And then we have roles, and that's admin. Okay, so I think that's good. And then environment variables is just like this. Okay, so we have hash env dot. So hash env dot, and then we have access to that. Okay, so I think we're good to go there. Let's try this again. So remove the orphans and we'll remove the volumes. That should also kill the database, and then bring that back up again. All right, so in this, I wonder what else we can do to sort of like set things up. Because I don't think it's keys, right? Okay, so you're up and running now. Yeah, so maintenance mode, database configuration. I do wonder if there's a way for me to access this. Configuration reference? Configuration file. Oh, this might be what I want. The password that FusionAuth will use to connect to the database. If you're using silent mode or setup wizard, then this password might be used when database.user is automatically created for you, depending upon your database server. And okay. Can I use environment variables so I don't have to hard code that? That kind of sucks. This process uses environment variables. Wait, what? Okay, so hold on. Check if an environment variable is defined with the configuration option name. Okay, so check for an environment variable named like database.url. Check for environment variable named database underscore URL. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, so inside of here, if I wanted to do all this database stuff here, so it's looking for database type. Okay, for database URL, the JDBC URL that FusionAuth can connect to the configured database. We have specified the PostgreSQL JDBC type. Okay, so I do have this as database URL, so JDBC Postgres DB 5432 Postgres. Okay, so I guess it's more of this is correct, so I don't have to make any changes to it, so that's fine. Super user credentials. Like I have this up for seeing the ad break, but I don't have it up right now because we have we have this up. I guess we can just keep this always on the left. Okay, I don't think I need to keep that. Okay, then FusionAuth credentials. So the username and password of the database that I'm connecting to. Okay, so this is what I want. So you want the database username and password. Is that database underscore username? I see a database. Okay, so we have a database password that's being loaded in, and I have a database underscore username. So it should be accepting this. For auth, we're using the FusionAuth.env file, and that .env file does have, okay, so database username, database password. Okay, that's good. Oh, there's this silent mode. Perhaps that's what I want, because it is bringing up this wizard. Oh, nice. I can even do straight up environment variable displays. Okay, that's good. Yeah, and so we do have database, and I did spell that correctly. Okay, so we have database password, we have database username. How to do silent mode? Oh, it's in here somewhere. Wait, runtime mode? Okay, that can be development or production. Defaults to development, so that's fine. FusionAuth app silent mode. Okay. Now, is this a environment variable? It is. Okay, so this is the same thing. So I want to look for. I'm also curious why is this? The previous one had configuration files. I want to go back to environment variables. Go to silent mode. FusionAuth app silent mode. Okay. And we're going to set this to, Boolean, defaults to true. Okay. I'm not sure if that's actually true though. So that makes me curious. If I set that and we rerun this again, does that make that first sort of screen not show up? Because that's kind of what I want to do. I want to make it so there's no configuration that I need to set up. Okay, and auth is running. I guess we can wait until Hasura starts up because that way we can really make sure that everything runs. Also, we could, also try taking a look at the logs to make sure that this ran. So was it Docker compose logs, take a look at auth. Oh, there is an error. Unexpected character double quote was expecting a comma. What did I do wrong? Did I leave an extra comma in there? Oh, trailing comma right there. That would do it. Any other trailing commas? I don't see any. I should set up, here, let's add this in. All right. I'm clearly not getting, it's sort of getting some things for a language server for JSON, but not really enough. Okay, so with you saved, we can now do this again. This is the, I don't know, like I actually do enjoy this part of project running, just sort of like the configuration, getting everything running, working with like finagling with the Docker stuff, getting all of like sort of like the DevOpsy stuff up and running. It's like, to me, this is like a fun part of the project. It's really good to always do this first, in my opinion, because once we get this up and running, you just want to go, right? And this is the type of investment that you do to allow yourself to just go, at least later. Okay, so if we load up Yew, we still get the FusionAuth setup wizard. Oh, but we skipped the other one. Okay, so now it's attempting to create, okay, so that did work. So it skipped through the database part, and now we're on the setup wizard to create the admin user. And I want to skip this as well. So is there a wizard? Not something named by that. Okay, so admin user, this will be the first account to be created in FusionAuth, and this user will be assigned the admin role for the FusionAuth application. Yeah, and then it logs us in. So is there a way for us to skip that? I saw something about a setup wizard in here. Okay, troubleshooting. If your Kickstart file doesn't run on your instance, here are some troubleshooting steps to take. Ensure, okay, well, I guess also, because I keep on forgetting, we should double check this. Still problems here. I mean, is that actually problems there? It's really hard to tell. Okay, so unexpected character quote was expecting comma to separate object entities. Oh, did I miss a comma? So we have request method URL body, missing a comma right after body. Right after user. That's what that is. Okay. All right. So resave Yew. That should be fine. I should have noticed the red there. It just had the red things. No more red. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's bring this back up again, and then we'll see if this works. Okay, so you're all up and running. So let's take a look. If we go back to localhost 9011, it brings us back to setup wizard. Okay, let's take a look at the logs. Okay, nice that it puts my password directly in here. So that's good to know that I shouldn't use a real password in here. Luckily, this is just sort of me doing a bunch of characters together, so I don't really care. It is not a real password. Let's see. So error, failed to execute request to post, exception returned, unexpected end of file from server. Huh. Well, that seems not great. Okay, so now I know what my application ID is, and I can make a call to that. So I wonder if we should try making this call with like Rapid API. Remind me later. Okay, so if I do, that was the X Twitter clone. Let's do local FusionAuth, new request, and we're gonna name this request. Oh, what am I gonna name it? This is gonna be create admin user. So it's gonna be a post. So we're gonna go to 9011 API user registration. For the body, we're gonna use JSON, and we want registration. That's going to be another object. We're going to have application ID, and we're going to throw Yew in there. We're going to have our roles. That's going to be an array. Okay, admin. Okay, so that's all registration, and then we have our user. This level, no, that's still at the root level. Okay, so we have user. You're an object. We're going to have data. We're also going to have email and password. Let's just do a really simple password like that. I don't think this would normally pass muster. I guess we could just copy this. You already know this one. Okay. Oh, so I got a 401. Okay. Now it doesn't tell me what I got back out of here. So I wonder if that's the problem that we're running into here. And that is API user registration. Okay, so that should go to the right place. It is a post. We're sending this in. Okay, that's great and all. Let's see. Inbound Frog, hello. How are you doing today? Is it the space in front of the /API? Ooh, good question. I didn't notice that I had that there. I am attempting to send the same one here, and I don't have a space here. That would potentially might have caused it, though. I get a complete different error when I do that. So let's go ahead and try this. You probably need the API header for the token in your manual request. Oh yeah. Do I need that in the Kickstarter, or does it sort of like automatically figure that out? Right. And then I am creating with the token. So theoretically, I would have access to that token when I created it. If we go find, okay, so that's just using those. Okay, yeah. So it is going to use the primary API key behind the scenes for this. Yeah, okay. So it is going to use that. So that means for my thing, I'm going to use API key authentication. So, oh, it's just authorization. So it's not like a bearer token or anything else. It's just authorization with this key. Okay, cool. So I would go to headers, we'd add in, and that's not it. Authorization, and then whatever the key is, which I think we hard coded, right? Yeah, into that. Okay, so we should be able to do that now next time. In the meantime, you run. Okay, so it got past that state. I think that was it. Let's go ahead and now log in as this new user, which we put in as, okay, Brooks Mailinator. Okay, so Brooks password is that. Keep me signed in. Hey, and there we go. Okay, so that was the problem. Thank you for that, Inbounding. Okay, so now we can see everything in here. All right, so recent logins. Okay, so it logged me in. Okay, interesting. So it logged me in. Interesting with the local IP address on my system, and then also 127.0.0.1. This must be from the Docker IP address. I don't actually remember what my local IP address is on my Wi-Fi, but it's the same system. So I would think that would be from the Docker container. Okay, so we got you. That's good. Users. We have our one user here. So that's nice and set up. And then if we go into our user, we should see, okay, registration for FusionAuth, roles admin. Okay, we see that. This feels like I should be able to scroll right, but I can't. Like this is not like a horizontal scroll bar. Oh, I have to like zoom way out to see all the stuff. Oh, wait, no, there's a scroll bar. Oh, that kind of sucks. How do I can't see the scroll bar. I can't use the scroll bar. Okay, so hold on. This is another thing to add in. Let's see. This is UI issues. When zoomed in on manage user, yeah, so manage user page, I can only see some of the user tabs. Can't select scroll bar to horizontally scroll on Firefox. I don't know. Maybe another browser would work fine. But if I go down enough, there it is, user data, and we can see company Brooks Builds. So that's good for that. Excellent. Although you can't see anything. Let's see. So I don't need to do anything more users wise. Applications. So there's the FusionAuth application, but no other applications right now, which I guess is okay. I could also create a new application as sort of like the test application. Do I want to do that? If I do a new test application, I think that I probably would. I probably would want to create like whatever applications that FusionAuth is sort of like being used for. And now I want to register a new app through my okay, so we won't use it through Kickstarter. Tea Kettle, hello. How are you doing today? And thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you. And kaboom, yeah. That would be fun to do. Sort of like, oh, I wonder if we could do something with Anathema to like have a little animation pop up when somebody subscribes. That'd be fun. You don't know how or why you have Prime. Yeah, if you should definitely investigate that. If like that usually means you're paying for it, but it could also be that somebody's paying for like a family plan and they just added your email in, and therefore you get access to it and you don't have to worry about it. That would probably be more likely a thing. But either way, thank you for the Prime sub. Okay, so we have you. I have that application token. you probably got sucked into a dark pattern and failed to cancel it. That is unfortunately a thing. Okay, so I guess let's just go through here and take a look at to see if there's anything else we want to add in through Kickstart. And I'm not aware of any right now. I don't really understand how I want to use groups yet. The default tenant I think is fine. We don't have a reactor. I don't really care about customizations yet or entity management yet. Okay, we have the API key that we created to begin with. That was the all tenants one. And I wonder if I want to create another one for our user, but probably I want to just log in as this admin user. Connectors. Don't need any connectors. I don't think I need any consents or data providers. I don't want to implement these integrations. No IP access control. Oh, signing keys. Interesting. And I can generate my own pair too. I don't need to do that yet. I don't have, okay, so don't want a messenger. I don't think I need to do a cores filter. Oh, look who's here. Oh, well, Zilby's to the right of it. Hold on. Camera move time. I think last time I went over and looked, Zilby was fascinated by, like, I think that there's a spider that's living right outside the screen window. And so he's really fascinated with just staring at the spider. Let's see. I don't think I need any of these things. So lots of nice stuff here. I don't think I need to look at any of these logs. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so, oh, you know what? There was one thing that we wanted to look at, which was for this user. Can we see what type, what they're using hash-wise? So we have the Fusion Auth registration. We have the roles. They're just admin. I think Zilby is meowing. He wants me to let him loose to go, play with the spider, which is not a good idea. Families? Huh. Oh, because this thing understands the idea that you can have like parents, like literally parents who are older than you, and they're the ones who are authorized to do stuff for you. Oh, right. I have to go back to here. We have different sessions. Okay, so where they're coming from, that's all good. Okay, source. Okay, so the encryption scheme, which is really a hash, is using by default salted PBK DF2 HMAC 250 SHA-256, which I think is that's safe, right? I vaguely remember that a salted SHA-256 is perfectly fine. And we can choose to use bcrypt or anything else like that if we want to. All right, cool. And then what can I do with you? You may not lock your own account. Okay, good thing I clicked on it. That would have been fun. All right, so great. We have you. We want to start building our front end for this to sort of like deal with this like as a manager of it. And if we want our front end, that probably means we want to start committing some of these things. All right, so I guess we have FusionAuth now starting. So next up, we want the actual like front end Yew application. So I'm thinking we'll just do a cargo new. Would this be a library that I care about, or would this be an actual main application? It might be a main application. It's like just a good old new cargo new, and we'll call this. Sylvie, you wanna? No? Okay. Cargo new. I mean, we could just call it front end. Okay, so oh, there was nothing here already. Okay, so maybe I don't want to name that front end. Maybe I can just put what we have right here. Local? Maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe I just want to create a cargo.toml here to say, hey, go to the front end, because this is kind of a mono repo. So I am a little bit curious. If I open up main here, are you going to be happy with me? Yeah, okay, cool. So Helix and Rust Analyzer are happy with this. Perfect. So now we get to remember how to set Yew up, because it's been a while. We want to use 0.20. We want to do dark mode. Okay, we want to use 0.21. Getting started. I would love to have this be inside of a Docker container as well. And so I'll probably be wanting to have a Docker file in here. Now there is this Docker file which I'm completely ignoring and not using. Let's go ahead and move this Docker file into front end. Okay, syntax, Dockerfile 1, don't care about that. There's comments, that's great. Okay, Rust version 179.0, I think that's the latest version of Rust, right? 179.0, yeah. App name. So this is gonna be, what is our application name? This is gonna be, I guess, like EyeAP. Create a stage for building the application. Okay, so from Rust version, they're using Alpine, which might be okay, but I might want to just use the main one depending upon how Trunk is happy with that. Okay, so from Rust as build. I don't think I've used as in the from before. Argument, okay, so we have our app name. So bring the argument into here. Okay. Our workdir is gonna be app, that's fine. Install host build dependencies. Okay, so APK add no cache clang LD. So bring all those things in. We also need to bring in trunk. Yeah, so we'll do another run for adding in trunk. Build the application. Leverage a cache mount to user local cargo registry for downloaded dependencies. Okay, so probably not going to do that. Okay, so it's going to be run. Oh, interesting. Mount type bind source target source. Oh, it actually is doing that. Okay, so for all of the, okay, so for all of these, so it's it's mounting a cache, cargo build, locked, release, but this is for dev purposes. So I just want to build, and I probably actually don't want to cargo build this, do I? So I don't need to build the application. Create a new stage for running the application that contains the minimal runtime dependencies. Oh, see, I don't think I need to do that. Yeah, I don't need to do like this entire stage thing. I just want this to be much simpler. So do from Rust, get rid of that. Let's see. We want to create a user, a non-privileged user. So we have argument. I like to put all the arguments together up there. Okay, so add user. Sure, that's fine. I don't really care. Named app user. Okay, switch to user app user. I suppose that I don't want to run that stuff until after you. Copy the executable from the build stage. I don't need to copy this from the build stage, but I do need to copy the code from here. So we're going to copy. Oh, and there is a copy for the user. But I guess I am doing this as the user anyway, so this is going to be fine. Copy, where am I? We're in, okay, so Docker file. So we're right here. So copy dot to slash app, let's say. Tea Kettle, have a great rest of your day. And thank you again for the subscription. And we'll see you next time. Expose the port that the application listens on. Let's do 8080. Why are you the wrong color? Oh, because that's the wrong format. Okay, so copy everything here to app. Expose port 8080. But the container should run when it is started. Okay, so in this case, when you're started, I want you to run cargo. No, not cargo. Trunk serve. And that's it. Okay, so out of curiosity, let's well, I guess this won't work yet. We have to get everything sort of like the basics set up for this. I guess instead of doing that, we could just do a cargo run, and that will just let us see this going. And I should be able to build this manually myself. So let's go into our front end. Let's do a Docker build. I'll just call this yew right now, and we'll see if this builds. It did not. Okay, so what happened here? Run add user. Add user does not work. Invalid number, nothing. For, okay, because of UUID. All right, I'm not going to worry about add user maybe right now. Let's just get rid of you. I guess let's also not worry about trunk. So we just build all the things that you want. And then we copy that in. Okay. Okay, so then I should be able to do a Docker Docker run. Go ahead and remove it automatically. I don't think I need to give it like any I or T or anything else like that. We're removing it. Oh, we need to port. Let's do 8081 to 8080. And we call this yew, right? Pretty sure we called it yew. Yeah. Okay. Let test. Okay, so we have warning, not that. And then we get our hello world. Okay, perfect. So that works fine. And then if I wanted, I don't want a cargo watch because I'm not going to use a volume. We're going to use that copy. That's going to be fine. I do eventually want to throw in the trunk stuff. So maybe we'll do that now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and install trunk. Okay, so let that build for a bit. All right, and so these are really basic like hello world, although this is even still doing more than I really need. And I just want something to get us started with. So I suppose if I just copy you and we'll just throw you into the main file. Oh, wait. Yeah, I want you to be 0.21.0, I think. I think that's what it is, or maybe just 0.21 will be enough. It hasn't copied over the code yet, so we still got time. And I guess also, it's a little bit too late for this. We're going to want you to, instead of be cargo run, this is now going to need to be trunk serve. Now, luckily, after this happens, this should be much faster because of the caching. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. And we're not going to run it. We're going to have to run this step again just to make sure that it gets everything else we want. So I think I will take a quick break because we're just waiting for this gun. So I will be right back. All right, let's see. How are we doing? We're still compiling. All right, this might take a while. Oh, I guess it's now on compiling trunk itself. Okay, so we're on the last. There we go. Okay, perfect. And I don't see the command get loaded in there, but it's probably not the right one. So let's go ahead and run this again. But hopefully this should be a lot faster. There we go. Okay, so now we can do a Docker run. Oh, okay. Cannot get canonical path to app index.html. Okay. Yeah, so I'm missing an index.html. That's fine. So we want in the front end, index.html. Oh man, it's been forever since I created one from storage. We want what? HTML. Okay, so we'll just do that. I need to rebuild this again so it can copy in that index.html. We'll run you. Couldn't find crate for core. Okay, so it started compiling everything. Oh, note the wasm32 unknown target may not be installed. I forgot that. Yep. Needed to add this in here. So probably before that. Okay, so let's rebuild again. Oh, and it has to recompile trunk because I now had a different target, so it has to compile for that target. Oh, that's fun. I can't remember how many things need to be installed. And how long did it take before? It was like a couple minutes, right? But I suppose the nice thing about using Docker for this is that I get it cached. So next time it'll be much faster. There we go. Okay, so we're compiling trunk itself. Any second now? We're over 2 minutes. We're approaching 3 minutes. Terraboy, hello. How are you doing today? Oh, I have to get rid of the window for that. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I didn't realize that. If I click outside of that closes the pop-up. Oh, that's nice. Back with boring stuff from work, but everything is fine. Well, that sounds good. I'm doing pretty good here. We are working on we're working on the EyeAP application, and we got FusionAuth set up and configured with an admin user using a Kickstart script. And now we're starting to build, or we're building a Dockerized yew application that's going to be the front end of our user manager. Even though it would be fun to use Anathema for it, I can't use Anathema for everything. But I could definitely see like times where it's like, oh man, if it's just going to run locally, maybe an Anathema would be like a pretty good front end for a lot of different things. Like if it's just going to run on a computer, might as well run it in a terminal window with a GUI, a GUI in a terminal window. But since I am running it, I am planning on running a lot of different stuff from the web side, I do want to like make sure I can run it from web. Okay, so that's all good. So now we can just do our Docker run again. Now it compiles all this fun stuff. Maybe create something like terminal.shop. I don't know if I'm familiar with that. Oh, is it like it's like a store for, use the command below to order your delicious whole bean coffee. SSH terminal.shop. So add in a host and then, so no, this is different with Anathema. Wait. So, but this is all about using like a front end in a web, making it look like a terminal, right? But Anathema is all about making a terminal look like a front end. Because like I'm using Anathema here. Like this entire window is Anathema. So I'm having like these two components, and I can click on the hello queue to make it appear. Oh, connect to it from my terminal? Ooh, okay. Return to bad status. Could not find renderer in yew. Oh, that's just a code problem. Okay. That's interesting. Hold on. So I'll come back to that in a second. Let's see if we can fix this first, because our app isn't running. Yeah, render. Oh, the item is gated behind the CSR feature. That's right. That's why. Okay. Okay, so version is equal to that. And then I want features CSR. Okay, fun. Let's see, because that's dependency U. I don't build it right away, so we should be fairly safe to just do another build. And that should be fairly fast, and then another run. Okay, so in the meantime, let's go ahead and I think I actually do a new. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna do an SSH to terminal.shop. Sure, go ahead and connect in. Oh, yes. Okay, I see. So it's like a terminal shop for like an actual, it's a terminal interface complete with errors like objects. That's fun. Gotta love that. Or is that the name of is it just being fun and plain fun? It's like the name is object. Aha, okay. That makes more sense. That has mouse support, sort of mouse support. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so definitely we could do that, where you can like SSH into something and implement something like that. You can even do what this has, and it has components that you can scroll in. So all of that works. So yeah, cool. I like it. They don't have an exit. Oh, a queue worked. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely can we definitely could create something like that. Although I don't want to create like an actual store. I have some other ideas for us to create. I kind of want to create a game too, because that would be a lot of fun. All right, what happened now? Error, wasm bindgen not found. Okay, was I supposed to install wasm bindgen and I forgot to? So install Rust, add the WebAssembly target, install trunk. No, then just build the sample app. And you're yelling at me saying, okay, so I need to do a cargo install wasm bindgen. Do I need to install anything else? Oh, I want to install the CLI. I probably want to install the CLI. So cargo install that, and I probably want to use the locked version. So after you add the target, we'll do a run cargo install locked wasm bindgen CLI. All right. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. It feels like it's going a lot faster. Oh, but I did this before. Trunk, so it's gonna have to reinstall trunk, isn't it? Yeah, so now this is going to take another 4 minutes, another 4 or 5 minutes. So that's going to be fun. Let's see. So, yeah, there's some more things that I want to do in here with Anathema. There's a new Togglebit just added yesterday a canvas component. So now you can like create canvas type stuff. And the first thing I thought of is like we can do animations maybe. There's all CPU bound, so I don't think you can do anything with the graphics card in the terminal. I just don't think that's a possibility. But I can do things like, bouncing around. We can do like a drop game, which I know is like not really that big anymore on a lot of streams. But hey, we're in Anathema, so we can do some like cool terminal drop type game. and have that run over here. We could do some other just sort of like interesting animations of things that are happening, just like by creating characters and then just moving them across the screen. We have to do all the math and everything else ourselves, but hey, it'd be fun. And we can do like a simple short store shop or something like that. But I don't know if I saw like how we can do interfaces, and I think we'll just do those when we get to them. We also have to take a look to see what Anathema broke with this update. I know that Toggle added some strong types to the component registration form, so that's nice. Okay, I think it was like around 200 seconds. I don't remember for sure, but I think we're around there. So we're pretty close to being done. Okay, any second now? Over 200, I guess. Yeah, I think we definitely need like some kind of game or something else over here when we have these like long things to play. Like we can do a drop. We could do. I think the drop game would be the best one. We can have like some character coming here, and either your name falls down, or just like the first initial of your name, or just like a dot or something like that. Let's add that in. So add a drop game to add the drop game to Stream Manager. Is it over 300 seconds? I should have added it after trunk, shouldn't have I? Yeah, 302 seconds. Okay, good to know. All right, so let's do another Docker run. Okay, so no errors showing up. So now this is at port 8081, if I remember correctly. That wasn't what I expected. Let's see, this is, okay, so okay, so command is trunk serve 8081 to port 8080. Okay, that makes sense. Connection to the server is reset while the page was loading. Do I not want this to be port 8081, but something else instead? Yeah, and UR port, oh, it's listening at, okay, I have to have it listen at 0000. Okay, so I think we need to do this with a trunk.toml. Yeah, we need a trunk.toml. This is in front end, trunk toml. Okay, and so it's serve. Okay, the address to serve on, which is an array. That's interesting. So addresses, and let's bind this to 0. And then the same port, that's going to be fine. So that's not how I save you. I save you. Okay, so we're going to do, we can't do the same thing. Rebuild you. Okay, so rerun Docker. Okay, so you're now running. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so now we have this component here, which is that basic one that we created. We're still not done yet, because what we want to do is we want to move, instead of a Docker file for this, we want to now put this into our Docker Compose. So we have our auth, we have all that stuff, and so we want to add the EyeAP. Let's not worry about like this app one, all that stuff. Okay, so our EyeApp, we are definitely going to depend on auth condition service healthy. Let's see. I want to build, and this is going to be in front end. I guess we'll just do the next here. So, see, build there. Okay. Oh, I had this develop section. I don't care about that. All right. Now I care about you. Develop. I want watch. Path. That's going to be just in front end. So everything inside of there, and then action. I want you to be. You shouldn't need to be able to rebuild. Just do a sync. And I think that'll be enough for you. We want to expose. Is it expose or is it ports? I think it was expose. Expose, want to expose port 8081 to 8080 inside. Ooh, we can add a health check. And I could just do another curl for this. It'd be very similar to what we have up there for FusionAuth. So our test, we could just do another curl, silent, fail. Go to HTTP localhost 8080 inside of here. And I guess we'll just do the entire dasho to dev null because we don't care about you. Probably want this thing too. Okay, interval. You need to wait because when you start building, interval is probably 5 seconds. The initial timeout should probably be like 30 seconds to let it build. Retries, go ahead and try it 5 times. No good Nick, hello. How are you doing today? Is this the Helix editor? How do I like it? Yes, this is the Helix editor, and I do like it. There's a couple little like sort of things that are like a bother, but they're very similar things that I have with VS Code. So not enough for me to like want to go back to it. And I generally like the lack of configuration that I have to do over what I have in like Vim or NeoVim. So I'm happy with it in that case too. But it works with Rust pretty well. It's working here, like as you can see with Docker Compose. I get auto completion pretty much out of the box. I don't remember having to do anything to get this running. So it's really great. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure all we need for this. I don't need, it's ports, not expose. Okay, ports. Yeah, and I think we're good to go. So this will start the EyeAP, and it'll put on 8081. So that'll be fine for you. And we'll have our watch set up. So now that we have watch, that changes things. I want to do a Docker compose. Bring everything down. Target is required for non-rebuild actions. Invalid compose project. What? Target is required for non-rebuild actions. Don't I have a target? Oh, I must not. Oh, target properties. So this is a target inside of the app, which I think goes to app. I think that's where we're putting it, right? Yeah, worker app. Okay, so let's try that. There we go. It uses the same LSPs. Yes, it's using the same LSPs as VS Code for the most part. Today you installed a portable air conditioner. Very happy about it, but it still needs some more insulation. I have not really like a portable air conditioner, but like upstairs, I have one of the window units. Sort of like it's half portable, but like I can move it from house to house if I want to. It's decent. We ended up like stuffing a bunch of clothes and other things around it to seal the gaps, and it seems to work perfectly well. Okay, so that's down, and now I want to do Docker compose, and now it's going to be watch as the command. Your apartment has a rare kind of window that doesn't fit the regular window air conditioners. Oh no, that sucks. Yeah, we got lucky. All I had to do is remove the screen window, and everything else just sort of like works pretty well. All right, so this should be pretty fast. Of the cargo install. Wait, are you gonna rebuild trunk? Okay, we're gonna be here for the next 302 seconds. You could say that that's a good Windows API. Please don't ban you for that joke. Nah, I'm not gonna ban you for that joke. No, it's let's see. Yeah, the Windows API was pretty good because all you had to do is just remove the screen API key, and then we had to like just run the install script. I think we've conditioned this joke into the ground. I don't think I can go too far with that. And that only ate up 60 of our 300 seconds. Zilby, you want to come over here? All right, I'm going to go grab Zilby. He's in the other room. All right. Zilby's in long mode right now. Oh, you don't want to be held in front of a camera. Okay. Okay, Zilby's on the floor staring at the window. So he might jump up there. Maybe. Okay, only another 110 seconds to go. Hey, there we go. Freak35, hello. How are you doing today? All right, about a minute left. You doing good? Excellent. That's good to hear. I'm doing pretty good. We're working on this application, get everything sort of like Dockerized and good to go. And I forgot that when I moved things into Docker Watch, I was going to have to rebuild everything. And building trunk into the Docker image is the longest thing. Sylvie, you done? Want to hang out with us? No? Okay. There we go. Okay. So everything is working. It finished rebuilding the container. It's okay. Copied everything in. That's good. Now it's running. Now we got to wait for the database to run and initialize. Could it be faster using binstall instead of install? You know what? Let's see. Would it be faster to use binstall? It probably would be, right? Because it would be a pre-installed binary. I don't think I've ever played around with. So we should check out cargo binstall. because I don't think I've really played with that before. All right, so watch is enabled. So the idea is that you're still running, so we can still do this thing. Our FusionAuth is set up. Everything's going to be there. Then you're all running here. So this is great. So let's what is it that we want here? What's our first story? Our first real story is, as an admin, I want to register a new application. So I need to be able to, I guess there's a couple of things that we need to do here. So like tasks for the story would be, I want to have a, I guess like we have a landing page and then I want to be able to log in, right? So we have a landing page. I need to log in. We need to log in. We need to deal with all that fun stuff. So I guess we'll start with our landing page. To go with components, how do I want to sort of think about that? Right now, everything's just in main.rs, so I probably want like a component. I probably want to move everything over to and do that. Let's see. So I want you in here, and then in main. Okay, so this is our main component here. So I want to bring you in. I pretty much just want you all in there. Okay, so we'll have our main function component here. We'll call this run, pump function run, and then main. Let's see, we'll have a front end run. And we can see, okay, so it detects those changes, but then this should still be fine and running. And so now if we do an update to you, let's get rid of you here. We'll just do like an H1, and we'll just do like landing page. There we go. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine. One really nice thing about here that's going to keep things a little bit faster on the Docker side is that we're using Docker Compose Watch as opposed to a just a simple volume mount. Okay, so that's great. I probably want to bring in my, because it's just make things nicer. Probably want to bring in my, do I want to bring in my component library, or do I want to just sort of like do things here? If I bring in my component library, it's sort of like making it more real. And I'm not sure how much, what I want to like really do, like make it like look good. Like I want to make sure that this feels like it's a learning application. So maybe we'll just like keep this really simple. So this won't actually be a landing page there. We'll need a router for landing page and everything else. So, okay, that'll be next step. We need a router. So new front end source. Should probably, yeah, we'll call it router.rs, I think. Okay, so why are you trying to pull in yew.rs from Git itself? That feels completely wrong. I don't want to do that at all. But okay, this is going to be yew.rs. Read how to use it here. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and bring you in. Okay, so that will restart trunk, I believe, which means we can start doing stuff here. Right, so this is the first thing we need. We bring in the prelude, and then we're going to have a pub enum route. Yeah, pub enum route, and that derives clone routable and partial equal. Okay, missing type route is, okay, so then we need to make sure we have a route that we care about here. And so we're going to have our, call that home, and that's going to be @ /. Okay, so we're going to start there. And then we need our, I don't need my secure. I mean, that's a, let's see, we don't need secure like that. I just need the switch, okay. You take in routes, implementation of routes, and you're going to return HTML. We're going to match on routes. Okay, so we have home. Okay, so if we get home, oh, we need a home component. So we need the route for this. So what do we want to do for that? I probably want to, can't do floating pane visible here. Do we want like another terminal? Not really. Let's do something like this. I want to create a directory for this. So switch to front end, source. Let's create a components directory here. All right, so in components, we're going to do I guess we need mod.rs first. Let's see, components, and this is gonna be our home. Yeah, home.rs. Okay, use prelude start here. We'll have a function component. Pub function. Okay, what is the name of this? What is a home? Why don't I use access? I'm using yew because my LMS is written in yew, and I want to make sure I want to like know if I'm gonna switch over to using with instead of Auth0 for that application. So that's the main reason. I haven't used access before. I've used Leptos a little bit, and I like that. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't even know if we did an exploration session on access before. I do feel that yew is maybe like the more popular one, like more people who are not necessarily front end devs, sort of like have heard of yew, I believe, but I'm not certain about that. No properties. We're just gonna do HTML here. Okay, so we'll just do like that. That'll be good enough for right now. Okay, so back to the router, and now we can use yew, right? So in route home, I want to HTML, and we're gonna put in home. Okay. So now in my main application, okay, we're gonna bring in browser router, and I might as well do that outside of here, right? So we'll just do a browser router. Okay, browser router. Okay, we'll close you, and then we'll have a switch. Okay, so it's gonna be a switch, and then we do route. So using that, render equals, and then pass that in. Okay, so we're gonna render equals, and then we want the switch method from here. We're not gonna call it. It's gonna be called for us, and then we close you. Okay. I thought we brought that up. Okay, so there we go. You're happy now. So now we have home showing up here. Perfect. All right, so we see the home screen. I want to go into a login screen, which means so we need a new, this can be in front end components. Let's call this login. I guess this is really login page.rs. We're also not going to need any properties here. Okay, what are we going to throw here? Probably use a div, and then we'll throw in an h1 and have a login. Okay, so what are we going to have here? This is going to be our login page. So we'll go to /login. That'll take us there. Okay, bring the login page. Excellent there. That's good. I probably want a component for navigating around, or if I don't really care, we can just have a route at the homepage to log in, because that could just work too. So let's come to here. I mean, a simple navigation component might be okay. Let's do that. Let's actually cd into this. We'll change cd. I want to go into front end, probably source. Yeah, so now I can do, okay, so I'm gonna write into components, and this is gonna be a sort of like a nav. I mean, we could certainly do a properties for this one potentially for like where we are, but I think actually it might be easier to figure out where we are from the navigation, and then maybe I just don't really care either. I might not care at all. Okay, so this is gonna be our nav component. Yeah, I'll just call it that for right now. Nav. There is a nav. Isn't there a nav tag? That might not be a good idea to name it nav. You can call it app nav. Okay, so HTML. I think this could just be a simple list that we have. So let's do an unordered list. We'll have a list item. The list item will be a link. Yeah, okay, so we want a link that goes to route like that. Okay, we have two route login. I guess we want to route home to begin with. So this will go to home. Then this will be go to login. Okay, So those are those two. I want to display these at the main library before we do the switch stuff. So this will be the app nav, which did not get brought in. Okay. Let's see. So with those brought in, I should now be able to see that here. Nice, super large. We're at 500% zoom. That's a bit much. But okay, so I can go to home and I can go to login and then back again. Okay, excellent. So that's all I really care about. Now, when we go to login, we want to figure out how do we log in with FusionAuth. So we finally get to go back to FusionAuth documentation and figure out like how do we do this entire login thing. Okay, so this actually just logs in a user, but that's not the type of thing that I want. I want to like redirect over to the login page, which is maybe more towards the SDK. Oh, right. And it's going to be using any, what was it called? It's any auth 0 thing that we can do. They have no Rust examples, but that's perfectly fine. Let's see. Let's go to lib.rs and search here. I think it's network programming. I think this would be under maybe web programming. If they have like this is not in alphabetical order. Authentication, it's going to be under authentication. So there's OAuth 2. For authentication purposes, consider using the OpenID Connect crate. Okay, this is the one that I want to use. Or at least, this is the one that I think that I want to use. Now, there's this. Is there anything from you that they suggest that we use? Not really. Yeah, they don't have any sections for authentication, so we'll see if we can use, where did I put this? This one, OpenID Connect. API documentation examples on docs.rs. Okay, so, all right, we can just use request. That's nice. Okay, so we'll have to figure out how to like sort of like do this in, I mean, we're in the browser, so we just can navigate there directly, and that'll be fine. Okay, so getting started, they're going to use Google as an example, but we'll instead of Google. Now, this crate is called just OpenID Connect 3.5. Is that is the most recent? Okay, that's not what I want. I want the crates.io page to grab you. Okay, so first off, we have to see whether or not this even compiles. Like, are you going to be perfectly happy with that? Hard to tell. I don't think we have logs showing up in the case like it fails compilation because it's not available for front end usage. Okay, so I mean, it doesn't say one way or the other, so we're gonna be finding out together. All right, back to docs. Okay, so default features, false. I don't know if we want any of that or not. All right, so I'm gonna ignore the use. We're gonna figure those out as we need them. Use OpenID Connect Discovery to fetch the provider metadata. So let provider metadata, core provider metadata discover, and that goes to this issuer URL new accountsexample.com, sub be to my localhost 8081.com, I think. Interesting. So I probably want an auth library or module for this, and then we'll implement some of the stuff in there and then try to figure out like where to do it. So because I don't really know where this is going to go, let's throw this in the main library file here. So inside the function component, before we run you, this will run once. Let's just try this. So import you, import you, import you. Okay, and that is using request behind the scenes. So it re-exported that. Okay, that's great. Potential problems here. In you, can I do a result return? Well, I don't want to return a result anyway. So I'll just do an unwrap, but throwing this into another file and then handling the errors and then displaying an error if something went wrong is probably the best way to do it. And what are you? Your provider metadata. So I guess if we just run this, build failure. Okay, that was very unhappy. Okay, so sync the changes, but let's go ahead and EyeAP. I can't tell what's from the most recent run or not. Can I watch this? follow, I think. Yeah. I think I can do this if I just save it again. There we go. Okay, so starting build, unresolved import, OpenID connect, request HTTP client. There's no HTTP client request. I'm not seeing that it thinks it's behind a feature flag. Wait. Found an item that was configured out. Okay. Oh, and it's trying to use blocking. Okay, I don't want to use blocking. So we want to use asynchronous HTTP client should implement the following trait. Wait, but where? For the HTTP client modes described above, the following HTTP client implementations can be used. Request. The request HTTP client supports both the synchronous and asynchronous modes and is enabled by default. Okay. So both them. So I want request async HTTP client. So request is not the right one. We want the async HTTP client and use that here. Expected async HTTP client to be a function item that returns result HTTP response but returns impl future. Users writing their own clients may wish to disable the default request dependency by specifying default features false. Oh, interesting. So that's creating a client. And they're going to do like client new, right? Limanox, hello. How are you doing today? It's less that I'm redoing auth and more of like discovering how to do auth with FusionAuth instead of auth 0. And I'm trying to like follow, maybe like use a library that maybe make this a little bit easier. But I'm not 100% sure that things are going to be nicer with this. Let's see if we're going to use glue. Maybe glue will be nicer. You made your own auth 0 for your new startup app. Nice. How is it? Okay, so if I pull in glue like that, and then I want to use glue net HTTP. I think that's it. So if I just call you like that, expected value found a module. Okay, so it's not that. Is there like a client? There's not. Okay. Oh, no, that's a request sent to the server. Okay, so under net. No, that's what I want. I mean, okay, so we have the wrapper around that. Is it just request? Can't get client. So if I just hand to you it, expected value found struct request. Constructor is not visible here due to private fields. Okay. It's quite decent. It's a lot of work. Turns out auth 0 encrypts password hashes. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that before. So you're doing that too, but you're doing SHA-20. But generally the store when you make the web server. No, I don't think I'm doing anything like that. I'm using, well, FusionAuth is basically a competitor of auth 0, and so they're doing a bunch of stuff themselves. Vampire, hello. How are you doing today? You did yourself a funny. You accepted a role when where Tableau, SAS, Teradata, and SQL are the main playgrounds. Is that good? I've used Tableau just a teeny tiny bit, just enough to realize how big and complex it is. So I guess congratulations on that. And hopefully it's really good. Back to normalcy. Okay. Yeah, playing with SQL is fun. Okay, you do interfaces like that so you can have memstore or superstore for each resource you expose. You don't know if that's the right way to do it. I don't know either. It's an interesting idea. Okay, so I don't know how. Okay, so how am I supposed to pass in? OpenID Connect is telling us that we can't use our own connector. I want to use this client. They don't really give me a how to do it. Like this is how to do a custom one. I don't want to do a custom one if I don't have to. You're using the OpenID Connect request. Oh, okay, HTTP client. So maybe that's just what I do. So let's get rid of you. Was it request like that? Yeah. I just want HTTP client. Okay. Just by doing that, build failure again. Unresolved import OpenID Connect request HTTP client. No HTTP client in request. Okay. Oh, but it was configured out. Wait. So if it's configured out, does that mean that I need to add in a feature for this? It also says it's blocking, which is a little bit disconcerting. Oh, and the mic is distorts every once. Is it happening when I'm over here? Like when I move to the right? I wonder if that's what's causing that. Or it's something else. Every once in a while we do have some weird audio glitches, but it hasn't happened in a long time. So I was kind of hoping that we were done with that. Let's see. The audio monitoring of the Focusrite itself is fine. And it's only once in a while? Seems a little bit weird. Okay, let me try not monitoring there. I want to monitor here. All right, let's see. We're going. I want to, for the red scarlet, monitor that in output. And I mean, I think, okay, this is sounding, wait, I could swear I heard it go weird for a second, but I couldn't tell. Yeah, it does seem to be, I wonder if I'm really loud. Oh, okay. And then it recovered. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what caused that. Let me see. Let me go back to, okay, monitor over there, so I'm no longer getting that over here. Let me see if I can cause it here. Sorry about that, Limanox. I'm gonna go loud again to check this out. So if I go really loud, do I hear it in here? No, I don't. Okay, so the problem is not in the Focusrite, it's in the Windows side of things. All right, well, that's fun. I had somebody on YouTube give a suggestion for what I can look into to fix it. It might be the connector. It could be. Every once in a while, we do run into this where the connector from the Focusrite itself to the Windows system runs into trouble. And that is, I am trying to route it away from all the power sources as much as possible. I think right now what I need to do is make sure that I'm talking quietly and calmly and don't yell into the microphone. And then we're fine. We're fine if I don't speak loudly. There it goes again. Oh, wait, maybe, is it time-based? Oh, well, okay, if it's not loud, if it's time-based, then that's another issue altogether. So yeah, there were some suggestions that I haven't implemented from YouTube. That was things like check the power settings for the USB port that I'm plugging into. Let me try unplugging the Focusrite and plugging it back in again. So I will be right back. Explaining what was going on, but of course you're not going to hear it until I plug it back in again. But yeah, so that could be another thing that's going on is I only have a USB-C connector, and so I have to plug it into a USB-C input on the desktop as opposed to like a USB-A V3, which is potentially an issue. So I plugged it into the front of the desktop this time. Let me know if it happens again. But I think it might be the stream's way of telling me it's time to end. It's almost 1 o'clock anyways, so it might be time. It's about time regardless. But okay, we didn't have this problem yesterday at all, which is fun. USB-C means digital write, so it shouldn't have any distortion. Shouldn't have any distortion and aren't necessarily the same thing though, which is interesting. Let's see. Skimmis, hello. How are you doing today? And then No Good Nick. Did I not say hello to you before? Maybe I did. You didn't show up on queue, so I'm assuming I did say hi. And then Cyberfinks, hello. How are you doing today? All right. So now I'm trying to get this HTTP client, and it says it's configured out. Now, if I go to re-exports, request requires the request feature. That's why. Okay, requires the request feature, so we need, whoa, what are you doing here? Don't do that. Okay, features equals request. Oh, wow, it screwed everything up. Okay. All right, so version at features request, make it look nice. Everything's good here. Okay, so you still have a build failure. No HTTP client in request still. Okay, so that's still the problem. So requires a request feature. Oh, you don't say you need a feature. Yeah, okay, feature request. Not WASM32. Okay, that's the problem. Maybe async client will be better. Okay, so I want async HTTP client, but now you're yelling at me because do we need this to be like discover async or something? Oh, discover async. Expected and issuer URL. Oh, interesting. They're not the same. Okay. You need to be in a wait. Okay, so you need to be in an async thing. So let's do the async block. Let's see. Oh, Limanox. No worries whatsoever. Please don't worry about that. I think it's perfectly fine to use chat. Chat's like not so busy that we can't like also have these side conversations in it, especially if you're getting the help that you want to get. And the hello queue is implemented now. Yes. Okay. So yeah, the hello queue was working no good, Nick. And then I didn't trust the hello queue when it didn't show this. And also apparently I missed you, Cyberfinks. So hello, Cyberfinks. How are you doing today? Okay. So this would need to be in a block, and then I don't think. Oh, we need an entire thing for the async await. Like to properly await this, like use async. I don't have anything like that set up. We're gonna do async type stuff in yew. Oh, it's like wasm-bindgen futures, right? Spawn local is going to be the most commonly used part of the wasm-bindgen futures crate in yew, as this helps when using libraries that have async APIs. Use also added support for futures in certain APIs. Most simply, you can create a callback future which accepts an async block. Okay, so I need wasm-bindgen futures. And then once I have wasm-bindgen futures, I should be able to use spawn local. Okay, from that, we can do an async block like this, and now we can await you. Okay, we're not doing anything with this yet, but theoretically it should just work. Oh, it compiles. Okay. I mean, that's a thing. Can I glue log this? Also, this is attempting to go to accountsexample.com, which is not what I want to do. I want to go to localhost 9011. You're not going to yell at me. You do have a couple errors. Oh, okay. And so we do need core stuff set up for this, don't we? Where was that? That was under settings? System? It was in here somewhere. Oh wait, did I log out? Oh, because we rebuilt it. Yeah. Who am I? I forget where the core stuff is set up. Yeah, that's like just searching users. That's not exactly all that helpful. It's not under customizations, not under entity management, not under keys, not under IP access control. Cores, there it is. So enable cores. I mean, so right now, if I just what are you trying to do? So it's trying to go there. Probably get allowed origins. I mean, I could just say for right now, sure, just be everything. Okay, so if we save you, and we come back here and we try this again, panicked. Okay, so it's trying to parse segments map, keep issuer, and it couldn't find this. Let's see. If someone gets access to my PC and account, well, I need to wait until the ad break is done. All right, welcome back. Lamanax, so you asked if someone gets access to my PC and accounts, can they view my customer data? And the answer is yes and no. The plan I have right now for self-hosting FusionAuth locally is that it would just be test and temporary data for development purposes only. If I were to switch over and start using FusionAuth for reals, then I would put that on like ECS or like probably host it in AWS somewhere. And in that case, they would need access to that plus the accounts in order to view customer data. But that's the exact same thing as Auth0. If somebody figured out and could get past the two-factor auth for my Auth0, they would be able to see customer data, which obviously is suboptimal. But I don't plan on having anything real customer-wise here locally. So it's a perfect place for me to play around with. Now, where was this? Trunk. Oh, request is where we found it from. Now you're attempting to come here to do a discovery. Discovery is what it's called. And a lot of libraries, but discovery and different, those aren't the same thing. Okay, when endpoint discovery is disabled, OpenID Connect endpoint validation errors may be hidden when opening. Okay, this is the most recent one. Okay, so discovery. The OpenID Connect discovery endpoint will now accept the tenant ID as the URL segment. Oh, it doesn't say what that is. So I need the API. I don't think it's under SEM, right? No. Okay, it's not this. Yeah, then it's like then just doing the things with with applications. Okay, and so where are you attempting to navigate to? You went to, okay, .well-known application. So I need to go well-known. The top level authorization endpoint for the OpenID Connect identity provider. You can leave this blank if you provide the issuer field, which will be used to make a request to the OpenID Connect well-known endpoint in order to dynamically resolve the authorization endpoint. If you provide an issuer, then this field will be ignored. Wait. Where is this API identity provider? So if I update you to go here, we got a 401 unauthorized. Okay, so that's sort of moving forward a little bit. You decided to encrypt all PII with customer's password hash that is then encrypted with hardware safe encrypted key. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this here for what we're going to do next time, because this, at least, like, this error lets us know, like, hey, what's going on, which is we need to get this like well-known OpenID configuration, and we're trying to do a get to it. And I'm not really sure where we're going to go for that. And it's specifically OpenID configuration. It makes me wonder whether or not was there a configuration? No, I didn't see a configuration in here. I'm guessing that there's something here we can look at. I don't think it's really that one specific. That was like a post, and I want to do a get. It's not exactly the same thing. So I think there's more stuff that I need from the documentation to figure out like where to put this in, like where to put in the stuff. Anyways, okay. You're here, might try Nuke's change Helix theme to light sometimes. Oh yeah, and it should work because I have the, you want to try it now before we head off and before we end? Because we're about to end it anyways, so we might as well give it a shot. And because the stream manager is running here, the change Helix theme should be working and should just do its thing. And because it's the end, I'll refund you the points too, because it's obviously more fun if I have to stick with it for a longer time. Is there a Nukes one? No, there is. Yeah, there it goes, and it works. Excellent. Yeah, so this is definitely that's definitely something that just works now. And I think it's perfectly fine. Eventually, we want to add in a timer for this, where I can revert it after like 15 minutes with a click of a button instead of doing it manually. But I think I like it. And I like the fact that it works. Cool, I'm going to go ahead and refund you. I know, so much power. Screen is inconsistent now. Some is light UI, some is dark UI. I know, because it only changes the Helix theme, which is in here, and the rest is dark. So I'll give that back to you. Oh yeah, the Hello Queue isn't happy with it because I have a print line in there for this, which is sort of printing over that. We're going to be changing that soon. So with that though, I think I'm going to go ahead and update things. Yeah, you like how in macOS you change system thing and most things change too? Yeah, that's true. Although in this case, it's just changing the theme file for Helix itself and nothing really else. All right. Next week, I don't know what's going on next week yet. I'll have a theme out. No, I'll have a schedule out sometime this weekend to figure out when I'm going to be streaming on. Most likely we'll be continuing to work on both this application and the Stream Manager app. So like those are the two projects we're working on right now. We're making really good progress with this app, which is a lot of fun. And this one's also starting to make some good progress too. And we're sort of like having to learn how OAuth works, or at least how these systems work. So with that, hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.